let's just get to Coates and find out what went wrong out there, okay?
All right, Coates in here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. He watched that last night. You heard it on the radio here, and 7-0, Coates. It seemed like it was over before it started. In a blink of an eye, it was 3-0 here. So how do you surmise what happened in Game 1 last night?
We played last night?
Well,
the evaluation is the goalie did not make the saves that were important to the rhythm of the game right from the get-go. And after that, with a team that is filled with young players against a team that's a defending two-time Stanley Cup champion, the let's say the confidence deteriorated very quickly. And the turning point of the game was probably the missed opportunity by Scott Lawton to tie the game with a wide-open net when he kind of missed the first, got the second opportunity, and Matt Murray came over and made a spectacular save. That's when the Texas turnaround turned, and they came back the other way and made it 2-0. And we never, ever recovered. And then they just put on a clinic. Mr. Crosby was spectacular. He had 2 goals last night that I don't think many people could accomplish. The one where he knocked the puck out of midair, and the other one where he redirected the puck in such a way that went up and shot right up over the glove of Mrazek. I mean, just not many guys could do that. So everything went well for Pittsburgh. Everything went poorly for Flyers. I think that the Pittsburgh Penguins played as good as they can, and I think that's the worst that the Flyers can play. And I expect that we'll see a different team tomorrow night.
Coates, you talked about Brian Elliott and the first period with the 3 goals that Pittsburgh came out, and you said your turning point was Scotty Lawton. I thought the Malkin goal was the real backbreaker, too, because just not the fact that the way it was scored late in the period, the Flyers were just coming off the power play. 2-0, you go into the room, maybe you adjust and reconfigure. 3-0, and at that time, I thought that was a real backbreaker, too. What did you see on the Malkin goal?
Well, the Malkin goal was that you got a block shot on the power play. That's, everybody plays the power play pretty well the same way with one guy back. And Gostisbehere is on the one power play, Provorov's on the other. But one of the perils of that is when you do get a block shot, you got one guy back. Now, Gostisbehere recovered very nicely, but Malkin against Gostisbehere, the reach is just really tough for Gostisbehere to make a play. So when Malkin went to the backhand, Gostisbehere couldn't make a play. Now, I mean, this is in a perfect world. Giroux was actually there, and he could have made a play coming from the back with back pressure, but he didn't. Just when he went to the backhand, you figure, okay, he's on the backhand, top of the circle, the goalie's got to make the save. That's the bottom line. The goalie's got to make that save. So we always defend shots for the goaltender like that because the backhand is the hardest shot to be able to pick up on because your back is to the play, so there's no sense of direction coming off the blade of the stick or off the shoulders. But still, that one, that's a little bit tough, and I'd have to say that that was the goaltender's responsibility to make that save, and goes back to what I said already about the saves that the goal makes during the rhythm of the game. The first goal was not a good goal at 2.5 minutes into the game. That really affects the rhythm, and then that was tough, that one there.
And that first goal, that Rust goal, was his blocker where he kind of served it right back out to him instead of steering it over to the board. Steve Coates is our guest. So if that's the case, if Moose had an off night and Brian Elliott maybe wasn't his best, does Dave Haxtell go back to him, and why does Brian Elliott give him the best chance in Game 2?
Well, I think Brian Elliott deserves the opportunity because of the way he played this season. You're allowed to have a game like that, and I don't think the Flyers did a very good job of protecting him either. So it was just a colossal letdown by this hockey club in the first game of a playoff. And everybody has to take a part of the blame, but obviously we look to Elliott because of the way he played in that first period. I mean, you can't go down 3-0 to the Pittsburgh Penguins in their own building. It's just like the building is a hard building to play in. But the Flyers have always played well here. So Brian Elliott deserves it. I think that when you're making a decision for a goaltender, Terry Murray told me this a long time ago. He said, and I think this is true with every coach, when the coach stands behind that bench, he wants to feel comfortable with the goaltender he has in the net. And I think that that's what Dave Hextall's doing. I think he's playing the guy that he thinks makes everybody else feel better and himself feel better. And that's very important to the team, too.
And that's regardless of what the numbers might suggest, right, Coach? I mean, Elliott's now lost 8 straight playoff games going back to 16. So even if in this world of statistics and everything, it seems that Hextall's going with his gut here.
Oh, they'd be looking at all sorts of numbers. The analytics would be telling him something. How much he uses analytics, I really have no idea. But, yeah, he'd be going with his gut. I mean, he's lost 8 in a row, huh?
That's what my trusty producer tells me.
Well, I would tell you then that he's due. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You know, I'll give you a number. You know, if you're a stats person, you know, you can watch the hockey game, but did you know the Flyers outchanced the Pittsburgh Penguins last night?
I saw that, 52-40 something.
Yeah.
See, I did a little research myself there, Coatsy.
I'm very impressed by that, Michael. I'm going to start calling you for a stat. But I'm not – listen, thank goodness you only lose – like, it's not like you lost the whole series because they got on you on the number of goals. Was it pretty? No. Do you get any points for getting more goals, like past 3 or something like? No. You lost the first game on the road, and that's the bottom line. And
right.
You have all the opportunity to forget about it now and go out and play. That's what you do.
Coatsy, I know you're an old school guy. When you see Oscar Lindblom get hit in the mouth and there's no retaliation whatsoever, nobody even says a cross word to the guy about the hit, does that tell you that the Flyers need some more physicality maybe back in their lineup? Maybe they bring Robert Haig back in?
Nah. Well, you know what? I have no idea about Robert Haig. That's one of those questions in life where I don't think anybody has the answer why Robert Haig's not in the lineup. I mean, Sanheim came up. He brings him a little bit more size, and he brings the – Robert Haig was leading the league in hits. He was the real deal. Then all of a sudden, he's out of the lineup and not back in. Sanheim comes from the minors and takes his spot. So I don't know that. But, no, you're not going to – those days are gone. I don't know if the bench even saw him get hit, quite honestly. I saw him today. He's fine. We got a little nick on the face. I thought it was worse when he ran into the turnbuckle by the Pittsburgh bench. Man, he got really waxed there.
You ever seen
that was just a kind of like falls right into place with the way the game was. There was nothing.
You ever seen
nothing? I mean, it's not like, well, you walk away from the game last night from the arena and go, well, if we had just done this, nah, not even close. Not one thing worked. And so tomorrow's a different day.
You ever seen a puck split in half?
No. Well, you know, there used to be – I never saw it happen, but in Grand Forks, North Dakota, the old arena there for the University of North Dakota, they used to have – they said that at times when it got that cold on the ice, the pucks would break. And then Hal Lako was the general manager of the Vancouver Canucks many, many years ago, and he spoke at a dinner I was at one night, and he was telling the story about a puck hitting the post, and half went in and half went out.
And how did they count it?
Well, you can't score half a goal. So there was no goal.
Did you, by the way, have you ever seen, did you see what happened the other night when the goalie had the puck wedged in his skate and then he skated over the line? This was a couple of weeks ago in the regular season. Have you ever seen that before?
Cam Ward, wasn't it? I think it was Carolina.
That's correct.
Yeah, I would say that goalie, Cam Ward, should be calling the skate company and then ask him why that puck can get stuck in his skate like that, because that's not supposed to happen.
That's a good point.
That's not supposed to happen. Can you imagine that happening in the 7th game of Stanley Cup
Unbelievable.
Final?
Unbelievable. Hey, Coachy, I'll ask this question because a lot of teams, we witnessed it Saturday night. We were driving home from the Flyers game and all talking about it. Nobody wanted to play Pittsburgh. Everybody sat guys. They were avoiding Pittsburgh. So there's a reason why no one wanted to play Pittsburgh. Were the Flyers just kind of overwhelmed by a 2-time defending champion? I mean, this is a very young team. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and you're playing against a 2-time Stanley Cup. Were they just overwhelmed for one game?
That's right. And that's how we were at practice today, and the team seemed fine. Everybody was fine. They understood what had happened. That's half the battle, if you understand what happened. It's just a matter of going out and And I don't think you're going to see a lineup change. I think that it's just a matter of going out and doing what you did. You played them tough. I know they lost all 4 during the regular season, but they were 1-goal games. Now, the big thing is that the Penguins are getting a little bit more offense against us than other teams, and that's something they're going to really have to really clamp down on tomorrow night, and that's where you need your goalie to really come up big. It's interesting. Pittsburgh's numbers since the trade deadline when they picked up Richard, power play went down, penalty kill went down, goals for went down, goals against went up. And all of a sudden we thought, wow, these numbers are really tracking well for us. And then next, you get beat 7-0, which tells you that numbers mean nothing. You have to play the game.
Right. 4 power plays, not even a shot on goal in those power plays, Coates. You don't think more speed maybe, like Konechny and Raffle switch, or Jordan Wheel comes back in and Laterra sits?
Is that your way of kind of sitting in the back seat and saying this is what you'd like to see happen?
I can't drive the car from back here?
Well, yeah, not that I think so. I just don't think so. I think that, as much as Jordan Wheel brings you a little bit more speed, a little bit more offense, he's a little bit of a danger. He was -10 during the regular season, so he's not really that reliable defensively. And, for a fourth-line guy, you're pretty good right now, solid in your first 3 lines, on paper. Okay, if they go out and play like they can, you should be all right. Laterra, people don't like Laterra because he's not that fast. But, man, when he does get in there, he does a great job on the wall, and he knows where he's going with the puck. He made a great pass to Lawton on that one play right in the beginning. So it's a hard decision. Laterra brings a little bit more, well, it brings a lot more experience than Wheel. Wheel's never played in a playoff series. So, no, I didn't see any changes in the lineup on the practice rink today, and I don't expect it. Dave Haxtell said he wasn't going to say anything till tomorrow, but I don't think you're going to see any changes.
Steve Coates, the Flyers Radio Network. You'll hear the game tomorrow night right here on 97.3 ESPN. Puck drops at 7 o'clock along with Tim Saunders, and you can hear Flyers-Penguins game 2. Coatesy, we'll see you soon, pal.
Thanks, guys.